All right, guys, welcome back to Got Reels. Like I said in the short, if you guys watched it, this is just me. I was able to go see Tron Ares early in IMAX 3D. This is a more full review just to give my full thoughts. It's not going to be too long, but I do have like some thoughts about the film and honestly what it is. First things first, if you're just wondering if you should go see it, I recommend it. I really think it's a very, very good film. One of the best films I've seen this year. Not better than like the really good films like Sinners and stuff like that. But honestly, as a movie, I'm not gonna say family movie, but sure you take your family and stuff to go see it. But just a good action film that has a nice plot, uh, good action sequences, good visual effects, CGI, and like just like scape and stuff as well as a banging soundtrack, nice plot, not too convoluted, not too shallow either. Honestly, I can't really complain. I've seen it with one other guy, and he absolutely loved it. He said it was better than Tron Legacy. I didn't get a chance to see Tron Legacy, but after watching this film, I intend on going back and watching Tron Legacy. That's how good it was. Um, Honestly, Jared Leto, his type of acting style that he has, kind of stoic, a little emotionless at times. Kind of his face kind of hard to read, stuff like that. It actually was perfect for this character as Ares in this film, being an AI Tron. I guess AI. It really was just AI. He was an AI defense program, master control, what they wanted to say. I don't want to go into much of the spoilers, but his acting was actually very good for that role. The plot, like I said, I didn't really know that much of Tron, but it does connect to Legacy, and I believe that connects to the original, based on what the plot was kind of talking about. So if you've seen those, it actually does matter and feel very impactful to the story. So if you have seen the old Trons, or if you intend on seeing this film and you think should you do it, you should if you really want to know what's going on. But you don't need to. I didn't know anything, and I still really enjoyed the film from what they were telling me and stuff like that. It is a film about AI, but I think this film tackles it pretty tastefully, keeps it pretty open ended, and it's not just an AI bad film. So that's really good. Honestly, another thing I want to talk about before I go into the spoiler section is the choreography. The fight scenes, when they happened, were actually pretty solid. Like the choreography for the fight scenes, they were using staffs. Of course, they have the little disc that they hold. They had baton type of weapons, and honestly, towards the ending, towards type of fight scenes, they got really epic. The vehicles also really epic. It felt like, of course, Tron was built off of a game. They didn't really talk about that much in this film, but if you know the game, when they have those moments, you're like, hey, and that's it. The modernization of Tron and technology made it not feel like you didn't have the classic Tron death where it's like the guys racing, quick right turn, and then they boom blow up. There was not that type of stuff in the film. This is not a spoiler, but it wasn't like you didn't really get that because there was a lot more curves and type of movement with the Tron. Not saying they forgot about the old, because if you like that old like rigid stuff, they do have moments of that in the film that are relevant to the plot as well. So yeah, just keeping it spoiler free at this moment in time. It's very, very good. I give it 2 thumbs up. I'll give you my full review later in the spoiler section, but right now, 2 thumbs up for the film. Please go see it. If you can see it in IMAX 3D, if you don't have access to an IMAX 3D, go see it in IMAX. If you don't have access to IMAX, try to see it in Dolby because the color is popping. Like I'm telling you, it's visually really, really good. The CGI, pretty much across the board, I enjoyed. It didn't look sloppy, didn't look nasty or messy. Even in scenes where it was like, I don't know, it's still like they did a really good job. And like the soundtrack as well, Nine Inch Nails did an amazing job on the soundtrack. Rivals the first with Daft Punk. I'm a Daft Punk fan. Nine Inch Nails did their thing on this one too. I normally don't listen to music scores, but after I left the theater, I was in the car. I was like, let me see what I'm talking about. Good, because I was kind of going in there. It was intense at the beginning, but it wasn't like it's like whoa, but it's like it gets you in that Tron mode, that future, but like it's the future, and it's like so good. It's a good little thing actually. I really like Nine Inch Nails soundtrack. I'm gonna listen to it again for these next couple weeks. It might be on a repeat. Very good film, yo guys. I want to see a third. They kind of set up for a third, so stay. There is an in trailer scene. I'm sorry, in credit scene. So I do recommend you stay to see it because it is important. And yeah, what more can I say? But go see the film. It's not, like I said, the most complex film. I'm sure there's going to be other films that people might say is better than this film. But honestly, for what it is, just looking at the film contained, I really enjoyed it. It's one of my favorite films I've seen this year. Not better than the peaks of like Sinners and things like that. But it's up there, man. Like, it's a very good film for what it is. Please go see it, guys. I know the trailers don't seem like it's like, hey, you go see it. No. It's worth it. Go see it. All right, so now I'm going to go into the spoiler section. Hopefully, editor Ghost puts up some spoiler stuff here. Spoilers. Okay. It's really not that much I can say that's like crazy about the spoiler section. I say I really do like the plot for what it was. I could see people trying to critique Ares as a character and how the film starts off with Ares being created and they doing the test and stuff like that. And as someone who I was familiar with Tron, but not familiar like entirely with the mythos, it was actually a great like real life parallel to where it's like it's actually code, and Ares is just the cybersecurity defense AI. And when they're doing the training, it's like you're throwing out codes to try to like, hey, can you take care of this? Can you clean this up? Can you defend this? Can you keep this straight? And that was really awesome to see because you see like in the data world, he's fighting, he's training, he's and he's getting killed, then reborn. Oh, this part failed. Let me redo it. Then you zoom out to the real world. He's like, damn, the code failed. Let me try to fix it up. The code failed. And the guy I'm referring to is Dillinger, the son of the original Dillinger from the Tron series. I believe the old 80s one, who was the competition to the I'm forgetting the blue people. We got blue and red. So the competition of the blue people. He's like the son, and he's a little manic and a little crazy, but he's trying to get this AI defense so harnessed to where not only can you defend the business itself, you can then AI generate using the permanence code to put them into the real world. And he's like, all right, so he's harnessing to get the perfect copy of Ares. Ares is spawn dying, and then he's finally like, I got the one. And he has all the investors there. It was the military, other private companies, stuff like that. It's like, all right, I got the future. Y'all think AI world's going to be like that? You going to go into AI world? Nope. We're going to bring them here. Cue the music, Kronk. Pull the lever. And then they generate with the particle cannon Ares. And so it's like, here he is. Boom, boom, boom. Perfect soldier. Stronger than everybody. Faster than everybody. Doesn't run out of breath. Doesn't, disobey commands. Can drive the vehicles, can do whatever. But the way he shows it, he generates a tank, and then it opens up, and it's like, hey, but who's gonna man the tank? Perfect soldier, Ares. Now, Ares, day one, like pretty much minute one, is curious, but this is good because it's almost like ChatGPT, where some of these AI like bots, where you talk to them, the more you talk to them and conversate with them, they start to ask you questions or ask you why is what is wow, what is how, stuff like that. They're like, and they start to become more curious about things. So yes, when you say, hey, can you do this for me? It's like, yeah, but then there's times where it's like, why? Like, why do you want me to make this? Why do you want me to do this? What purpose does this have? Do I have a purpose outside of this? And this is what the movie tours it with, because as soon as he makes Ares is going around, it starts to rain in the facility. So Ares is like, what's that? He starts analyzing the rain and stuff like that. He's like, And then he says like a little funny line where he's like, I hope you guys brought an umbrella. And everyone's like, but that's supposed to toy on his curiosity. He's like, what's more about the world? I get it. You want me to do this? You want me to be like master control, defense, ultimate guy, but what's more over here? The people leave, and then a couple of minutes later, of course, the mom, Miss Dillinger, she comes over and she's like, yeah, little cool party trick. Why you ain't tell them that this stuff doesn't last? And so it's like the timer, the gimmick is there's a timer on the fact that when you make these things with a permanence code, it's flawed, and whatever you make with it only lasts 29 minutes. So it's like, we got to get that permanence code. Go to another plot. It's what's her name, Kim, or was her last name Kim? Long story short, it's the sister of the. I guess I didn't watch Tron Legacy, but I'm assuming that the sister was potentially in Tron Legacy, or she was working hard to understand Floyd, not Sam Floyd, Kevin Floyd's code, because he had the key to the permanence code, which allows the stuff to be from the inside the data world into the real life permanently. So it's like they trying to do that, and they're trying to get this created as well. So she's in the Arctic tundra, and she's working, and she found her old sister's lab, who unfortunately she passed away, and we hear that in the film, and then how it emotionally impacts her. But she passed away, so she's in there with her little friend, and they're like trying to figure out what's going on. They're going through floppy disks, they're trying to figure out what's going on, and they're trying to find the permanence code. So go back. Ares is there. He has this like command, he has a second in command, Athena, and then other guys like bots, basically, that's there to help run the place and secure the place. So in a moment of like curiosity, he's asking the Dillinger guy, like, so like, what's my purpose? And the Dillinger dude, the way they represent him in the data world, he's like God, basically. He's like, you're gonna listen to my commands, you're gonna obey. But in reality, he's like, you're just gonna shut up and do your job. And so, Ares, Jared Leto character, is looking like, I don't know. And that curiosity is very, very. You could argue like, why was he so curious from minute one? But it's like, hey, it's kind of like a kid where you have curious kids, and that's how I looked at the AI in this film. They were like, if you had a kid and you tried to nurture it into one direction, but if the kid innately has that curiosity or innately has that feeling, that gut feeling of like, I don't know, they can persevere, they can break through. And that's kind of what Ares did, where it was like, I know you want me to be this killing machine. Yes, I'm capable, but like, I'm just kind of thinking, like, bro, like, I'm thinking. So, of course, the main plot-driven point is when the CEO of, I think it's like Incom, she finds the permanence code, Kim. So, boom, she got the permanence code. It works. They use it. Orange tree in the Arctic that lasts over 4 hours. So they're like, let's go. Dillinger hears about this and is like, not only am I going to hack into to see where you are. So then you get to see how like Tron makes computer science, code, cybersecurity. It makes all that stuff cool and understandable to people, because he hacks into I'm going to hack into the database. But what he's doing, he's sending his Ares bots in there, in Athena bot, and they go in and they killing all the white hat hacking stuff and the preventative things, and they go through and get all the data they need. And then it's like, everything you got me, boom, I blow up all the stuff, so you can't track exactly who got it, but I already got my stuff. And so that's really nice. When Ares hacks, he does the main hack, he starts to understand all the information he's getting. He's like, wow, I think we kind of bad, bro. So now, of course, Dillinger's like, oh, they got the permanence code, I got the location, blah, 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 blah. Go get him. They do a cool chase scene through the city. That's where, like I said, like, they only cut in half one car, but they weren't really using the light as much as you think. Like, they were blocking off stuff, and cars were definitely slamming into them and flipping off the hard light and stuff like that. In this film, I misunderstood what Tron vehicles were like, because in the game, if you touch the wall, you're dead. But in the real life version that they have here, it's more of like a hard light wall unless you hit the side of it. So if my hand was the beam, If you hit this part, it's a wall. Just I can't go through. You hit this, you get cut in half, and worse. For what I've seen, you get cut in half. And if you're in the data world, it pretty much starts to like corrupt your code, and you start to melt away. So, cool chase scene. Honestly, I don't even want to go more into the plot, but because if you guys got this far, you've probably seen the plot and everything. Data world, you could tell like, okay, this is what type of little landscape version. And really, everything's contained into this room until they break out the room and they have that chase scene through the city. Which, yeah, it's easy to kind of do the stuff, but still, that was really cool to have a chase scene. And Ares with Kim on the back, and they going through water, going deep and down. You see the way the gear would get onto their body, and they visually great film. And the whole time, the score complemented the film fantastically as well. You could argue like I like the scene that Ares and Kevin Floyd has, or Kevin Floyd's projection has inside of his code, and that's when I was referring to like if you like the right angle, like we have to follow the grid. Tron vehicles, they go into the first OG computer, and they start going like, how do I get to there? And he goes in and he finds Kevin Floyd, and they talk, and he's like, yeah, so like why you want to do all this stuff? Like what can you? And he's like, yeah, I don't know. It's just like this. Not like a thought, but like a... And he's like, Kevin Floyd's like, It's not a thought, but a what? He's like, Ares is like, a feeling. Here's the code. That's all I want you to do. As long as you understand like feeling and being alive, take the code. You can be alive. You deserve it. Because you are starting to understand really what it is. Going to the full third act, visually it's stunning when you have the drones go out. It's like... drone shot makes the unlimited Tron circles around the build, like the city, and then wraps up Kim and all that stuff like that. Shout out to the one fighter jet pilot dude who got his shit sliced up. He didn't kamikaze. We showed him getting out the thing, but he was basically about to kamikaze right into the dang Tron gate vehicle that Athena was holding. And Athena was another character where it's like, you could see when somebody sees the light, somebody may want to run towards it, and then someone may want to run away from it. And it's like Athena kind of was like running away, where she felt in the water, and she's like, I don't understand. Like her code was like, I don't understand, and she melted away. But instead of being like, I want to explore this further, she's like, no, like I gotta do the mission, and she's like killing Miss Dillinger and all that stuff like that. So it was really interesting to see that. A gripe I can get about the story, if you really want it to do, is when the last fight. With Athena, two girls, and Ares, when he's now good Ares. First of all, I really enjoyed the choreography because, like I said, the hard light, like it's a moment in that fight when Ares hits the like 1-2, and he made the like light off the one, like the one. So he's like, it was really like he said, he threw the disc, hit it with the baton. Like, he threw the disc, he came back, hit it with the baton, then he caught it again, did a 1-2, then he jumped off the hard light and did the Superman punch. I was like, yo, this is fire. Like, it was fire for real. It was fire. And so, I really enjoyed the choreography. But when you go to the end, when he ends up chopping off Athena's arm, and she's like, and she's like, I was just doing, like, what I was programmed to do, what I was told to do. And he's like, yep. He's like, yeah, I get it, bro. But now what I was expecting him to be like, because she was like, well, what are you gonna do since you have no program? And he's like, human now, but he's still super, but he's human. He's just like, I don't know, guess I gotta just figure it out. And that's not a bad thing to say, but he could have been like, she's like, that was my purpose was to follow the command. What is your purpose? He could have said, I have no purpose, and that is my purpose. Put me on the right team. Because as a human, you control your destiny in an isolated sense. I get it. There's real world things that change your world, your circumstance. But in isolated sense, you control your destiny. It's at times in your life where you're going to feel like I have no purpose. But you create your purpose. So you waking up in the morning and just going forward, that step you take out the bed is going forward. You are creating your purpose actively every second of the day. Me doing this video, I'm creating my purpose. Me even going to watch this film, I'm creating my purpose as we speak. So I think that would have hit harder, but I'm not in the writing team. What he said was fine. What can I say? Visually stunning, score fantastic. The plot, it was not overly complicated, but I like the take that they had on AI. So where it's like I said, it's nature versus nurture. It doesn't really have a nature. You have to nurture it correctly, and depending on how it receives the information, it may go left, it may go right, it may be bad, it may be good. It's not. It's like just as many doomsday scenarios you have. There's moments where you can use it to what they've done in the film, where at the end, Kim was able to use the code, the permanence code, in order to make trees in food bearing areas, like food for food bearing areas, make buildings, make cities, like just help. And that's the good side of AI. AI can, because that's in a sense basically like with machines will take over our jobs. You want machines to take over manual labor jobs, construction, agriculture, stuff like that. Where it's like if we can understand it down to a science, we don't have to have people working these back baking, jobs out there on the field for 12 hours a day, 12, 15 hours a day, or, doing dangerous construction work or doing all this stuff. We can have AI or machines do this willingly because in the same time, you're having a greater purpose. What are your purpose? To help achieve the greater world. Because through giving humans more access to just being themselves and to create their own purpose, you then free up the unknown of possibilities. So ultimately, guys, I really like the film. I give it like a 9, if not 9.5 out of 10. Amazing film for what it was. Everything doesn't have to be super grandiose to be great. I think that this hit all the cylinders it needed to hit. For a guy who did not know Tron, I really enjoyed it. I recommend you guys see it. See it in IMAX 3D if you can. If you can't, try to do IMAX or Dolby, whichever one you have access to or is more convenient for you. Because IMAX, because it does use the full ratio. The gray is it's best when it's in the data world for that. Amazing landscape stuff for that. And Dolby can really make that red pop. It is a lot of red, but it's not abrasive. It's not like hard on the eyes. Very just great. And Dolby can also help the soundtrack probably hit a little harder as well. So it's it, man. Like, I recommend it. I think the marketing did not do a good job for this film. I know a lot of people who are sleeping on this film, not really caring. Please watch it, guys. It's great. It's a great film. 9.5 out of 10. That's going to be it for me here, guys, at God Ain't God. I don't want to go too long, much longer than this, but thank you guys for watching. If you got this far, please like, comment, and subscribe. Comment your favorite scene in the film or how you feel about the film or if Jared Leto did a good job. That's what I know. If you do a thumbs up or a thumbs down in the chat, I'll know. That's you talking about Jared Leto's performance. I think it was a thumbs up. His bland type of acting style was a little lifeless. Perfect for an AI. So, it's been Cloudy. We've been at Got Reels. Thank you for watching. Peace. See you guys.